NVIDIA revealed. Wait, where is the where's the actual original article from this thing? Hold on, I can
Oh,
bring
I
this
got
up.
it.
Tech Radar. Here we go. So Tech Radar posted this article. I actually read it earlier this week. Jensen's kitchen was a lie. NVIDIA reveals that their GTC 2021 keynote was nearly 100% fake. And okay, Luke, is it worth us taking a second and having a look at NVIDIA's video here, showing the behind the scenes? Can I do that?
I think this whole thing is extremely confusing because
Okay.
the wording used by all parties involved is either extremely vague, incorrect, or just like not how you should word that, because
Okay.
it seemed borderline intentionally confusing.
Let
So
me show them. Can I just show them the teaser then? Just show them the teaser.
okay,
So here's where they're creating the fake Jensen. This is super cool. So here we got the, there we go. So they put him in this like huge camera rig. This is amazing. They take all these pictures of him and then boom, we get fake Jensen, leather jacket and everything. They worked on like how the materials stretch. Okay, so we got him.
Don't look too much further into it.
Okay, we got look at this. Look at this. They're removing like the hair and everything. Crazy town.
Don't look too much further into it.
Okay, all right. I won't look any further into it. Anyway,
so
the point
original,
is, okay, fine.
Original article title: Jensen's kitchen was a lie. NVIDIA reveals GTC 2021 keynote nearly 100% fake. Right? Okay.
Yes.
Remember that original title? You saw what they were doing. They've
Yes.
got him in this truck. It's a truck that pulls up to Jensen's house. They take pictures of him, all this kind of stuff. They got really professional people modeling him, et cetera, et cetera. Now we have, there's an update to this article that NVIDIA responded to the article. Remember, the title is saying nearly 100% fake, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
NVIDIA reaches out and says, in quotes, through all but 14 seconds of the hour and 48-minute presentation, from timestamp to timestamp, Huang himself spoke in the keynote. The company's blog post now reads.
Oh, okay. Spoke.
So I don't know if it's just voice or not, because they have technology that can simulate voice. So I don't know, and I'll go into why it's a little confusing at first, because the first time I read that, I was like, oh, it's super obvious, right? But then you see, and I'll show you timestamps for this later, you see different model versions of him that look incredibly realistic, but then there's other ones that don't. So I'm going to give you 3 timestamps.
Okay.
And you're going to have to guess the 14 seconds that they are claiming.
Okay.
So your first timestamp starts at 37:22.
Okay. Okay. So let me bring it up here. 37:22. Okay. And I have to, I guess I have to do it without listening to it. Okay. So here we go. 37:22, and I watched.
You can listen to it. You can listen to it. So it won't make a difference.
Okay, so he's just in a little tiny corner, though.
Yes, I tried to. Yes.
Okay. Am I allowed to watch it more than once?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and I'm not looking at chat right now, guys, because I don't want it to tip me off. I don't want you guys to tell me which ones are the simulated Jensen
and which ones aren't. As we're going through this, I want people to remember the original title. GTC 2021 keynote, nearly 100% fake.
Yeah.
You got to remember the original title, okay?
Okay.
Let me know as you're jumping through these timestamps.
Okay, all right. Hit me with the next one.
54:15.
Okay. 54:15. Okay. 4 more seconds here. Okay.
So you're still not sure, right?
I mean, honestly, they both looked kind of fake. I don't think he was breathing in the first one.
Interesting.
And in the second one, I'm just going to watch the second one more time here. It looks like the way his hair is moving around his neck is a little kind of unnatural, but he also might just have a lot of hairspray in it.
Okay. Interesting. I've got some people in Floatplane chat
Yeah.
trying to call which one they think is fake. There's a fair
Okay.
amount of people that think it's 5415. Now I
Okay.
want you to jump to 10241.
102.41. All right, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Here I go, boys. Oh, that looks very fake.
Are you sure?
His legs look like. Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, I said that one looked very fake before he disappeared. But then that also could have just been a VFX thing.
It could have.
Yeah.
Body movements when you're on camera are tough, right? So maybe try to like blow up the video and focus in a little bit more on his face specifically.
I gotta confess, it's very challenging because apparently part of the process, I do know this already. Apparently, part of the process was they actually recorded his mannerisms as well. So, like, if he has a particular way of fidgeting, it's supposed to fidget in the same way
Yes.
that he
Yeah.
does.
They do it based
Okay.
off audio. It's really cool.
Okay. So do I have? So I have to pick one, and this is not one of those misleading challenges where by picking one I screw myself over. Like it's one of them.
One of these is, well, we'll talk about that, but one of these is definitely it.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to say that because that last one looks so much like a green screen, I'm calling first one. I think it's the first one where he's in the corner and doesn't say anything. Because I'm pretty sure I saw him reading the prompter in the second one. So I know it's not that one. And then the third one, I feel like you put in just to throw me for a loop. So I'm not doing it. I'm taking the first one. Okay.
Okay.
Are we going to show the straw poll results first? Let them vote?
We can. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I fired the straw poll over to you.
Okay. Wow. I'm going to bring it up.
It's really even.
Really? Okay, let's show these results, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what you guys thought. Oh, wow.
I'm actually stunned.
I mean, this gives us some idea. If the goal for NVIDIA was to be validated that it's very hard to tell the difference, I mean, I think that pretty much says it all. And I mean, I'm looking for things that I wouldn't even expect an average person to look for, like the fact that I'm watching for if the host is reading a teleprompter, because that's something that I would recognize very easily. Not everyone would think about that.
Unless the machine learning would go off of mannerisms, right? So if he practiced in front of a teleprompter.
Okay, I guess that's true, but I doubt they would be able to get that exactly right unless they basically recorded his rehearsal and played it back, which is that's kind of a hack. I consider that kind of a cheat. That's not a simulated person. That's a recording of a person. That's mocap. We have that already. That's not new. So that's my defense of that. If they did that, I think it's
which one did you vote
Professor
for again?
Quirrell. I said the first one was fake.
The first one, so that was 37-22.
Yes.
What I'll tell you is the one that won the poll. Mm-hmm. So the most votes came in for 54-15.
Yep.
That one is not it.
That one is not it. So it was the last one then?
I will also say that the one that you chose was not it.
Really? So
it was the last one.
It was the last one. Oh, interesting. I mean, I did say the first time around, I jumped out and I was like, that looks really unnatural. But yeah.
It's mostly, I will give them this, it's mostly the body movement that looks unnatural.
Yeah.
I think they I don't know if I want to say cheat, but I think they put themselves in a beneficial position. I'll say that much.
By having him so far away.
Zoomed way out. Yeah. So his face is not as easy to see. Now again, they only say speak. And if you go to, give me 1 second. Okay, go to 102.28.
Sure. Yep. Done. Here you can see him reading the teleprompter.
And play from there, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So you see how it like grabs him he
Yeah.
looks like he's changed and slightly displaced, and then the kitchen has a big difference as well. Like, look at the side of the frame. Replay that shift and like pay attention to the edge
Oh
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
frame
yeah,
around
yeah,
the
yeah.
oven.
You can see it. You
So
can see the
everything changes,
transition
right? Yeah, so I had to timestamp, and I think they did this properly actually, but I made sure that the timestamp
right
didn't
there,
show that change. So you
right
see a
there.
noticeable change, which makes me think that the rest of the presentation is not simulated. And the fact that this is confusing at all is a huge credit to the people that worked on this, to be real.
Yeah,
Watching the kitchen deconstruction is like really cool. They pointed out that a bunch of the things in the kitchen
yeah,
are like, there's a can of like cooking oil or something. I don't
yeah.
remember exactly what it was, and it was rebranded to like an NVIDIA product. And like
Right.
there's a little Lego figure of Jensen, and there's like a few other things in there that are kind of cool. But yeah, once you see that part of the transition where it noticeably shifts,
Yeah.
it makes it so that this next part, being the fake part, is a little bit more obvious.
Right.
Um,
That makes sense.
it stood out to me mostly because of the body movement, but there is some confusing parts. So the continued timestamps that I have further on in the doc.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
yeah. So this is where it's like, okay, they said it was just 14 seconds, and maybe it was. If you look at this first one, um, if you watch it till 27:08, which is a little bit of time, they show like, okay, this is the first version of the face that we got. They have the 3D model obviously rendered and sitting there and rotating and trying to talk, and it's like, yeah, that's obviously fake.
Yeah.
But the guy in the video is saying like, yeah, it's pretty good, but it's not photorealistic. And then they go forward.
Sorry, which one am I at?
You're at the first one.
You got to just tell me the time. I'm just clicking on it.
Give me 1 sec. I will get it.
Oh no. Live show
26:30. 26:30.
26:30. Okay. All right, so here, let's have a look at this, guys. NVIDIA Omniverse 26:30. I don't see a head talking. Help me, Luke.
Just click the link in the doc. It's timestamped.
Okay.
Maybe everything I just said is wrong. What is real? Question mark. The link right below that.
Arg. Okay.
Right here.
Oh, this is a completely different video. All right then. Oh wow, yeah, that does not look
Doesn't
very
look
real
real at all, right? So that's the first version that they had.
Right.
And he says like, okay, it's not that great or whatever.
Yeah.
But once Blue Jacket guy goes away,
Yeah.
and you get to this, they show like example driving and result. The result is insane.
Oh wow.
The result is like bonkers. And this goes on for a little bit, and they show a few different versions of this, and the tuned in versions of what they have is amazing.
So basically, instead of using an actor for a deep fake, they're using kind of a decent 3D animation as the source for their what is essentially then a deep fake.
And then they used a mocap actor.
Got it.
For the motions. But then like,
and this is using AI. Yeah, right. So machine learning.
And then you see like how good that is, because it looks rather incredible, right?
Yeah, it looks great.
Now, if you don't want to click on the second link, give me a sec. I'll get you a timestamp.
Oh no, I'll click the second link now that I know.
It's just 28 minutes.
The problem
yeah.
is just that I'm having a really hard time seeing the top of my display because of my lights. I actually can't like see the tabs up there. It's blinding. Anyway, the point is, yep, here we go. I'm at it.
So they show that incredible example.
Yeah.
And then they show this, and now I'm like, well, that example was so good. I don't know if this person here is actually him or if it's digitally rendered, because the previous example was so fantastic. But what he's saying is that they had him like sit there and do these motions. So it's like, okay, this is probably actually him. And they said that they got these motions and stuff 3 or 4 days before the keynote, which is like, wow, that's really
not a lot of time.
Yeah. And then it shows him constructing at 28, like 14, 15, it shows him specifically constructing that 14-second scene.
Right. Okay.
So then I think it is the 14 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, there it is. Man, pretty cool.
It's cool that it's kind of, I wish they were more clear.
Yes,
But it's
I
cool that it's so confusing because that means they clearly did a really good job.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They did a really darn good job of it. That headline from Tech Radar is extremely
Horrible.
misleading,
I
but
tried to I tried to lean into it as much as I could because when you're looking at this connecting to the metaverse video, like I said, there's results that they have that are like, holy cow. And this is the video that TechRadar was watching to write this article.
okay.
And the video is a little confusing.
Jared's tech just blew my mind. You
What's
finish
up?
your thought, and then I'm gonna blow your mind in turn. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, so I can understand why it was confusing to TechRadar. I think they should change their title. But
Yeah.
after watching this video, I like part of me kind of believed,